One of the areas that I work in is church renewal. I not only help people build systems, but I help them to rebuild churches that have lost their way. This is the thing that we do in the triage evaluation, because we recognize that the spiritual foundation needs to be laid deeply and built upon. And building upon that is to receive a vision from God for why the church exists at this time in this place, to see the lost, the harvest that we're supposed to have, and have compassion on it, and build relationships with the lost, and then evangelize the lost, sow the gospel among them, reap a harvest, and teach them to obey everything that Jesus taught us. That's discipleship. And eventually raise up leaders among them so the church can continue to grow. Now, I have been doing this for some time, and I had somebody review me, and when he looked at it, he said, well, Steve's such a pragmatist. This is all pragmatic kind of things. It's all about church growth and techniques for church growth and things like that. And I realized when I saw his comments that he hadn't really read me deeply. He had not really looked at the material deeply, because there is something that's really important before you even get into the system building, and that is your theology. I want to make a case right this moment that your theology is the most critical aspect of building systems successfully. That what you believe about God and what you have learned from Him and about Him in His Word and about His church and about sin and about the gospel all flow within you to help you to develop the systems that you are going to build. For example, when we teach evangelizing as a system, the first thing that we look at is what is the gospel. We have those who are working on the system define the gospel as broadly and clearly as they can, because if you don't know what the gospel is, the wholeness of it, the fullness of it, then you can't sow it to the lost. You've got to really understand what it is that you believe, because if your gospel is fractured, if it's just a fragment instead of the wholeness of it, then you won't be effective in sowing it because you don't know it. And when you talk about vision, you have to ask yourself, what is our theology of the church? What do we believe the church has been brought in existence to do? What is the church's relationship to its head, who is Christ? And every time you come to a system, at some point we're going to ask you about your theology. What do you believe about the theology of finances? What does the Bible have to say about that? And what does the Bible say about, missions and Acts 1:9? What does it mean to be a witness to, your Jerusalem and Judea and Samaria and the uttermost parts of the earth? As you answer theological questions and clarify your theology, this guides you in what kind of system that you want to develop, because you want what you build within the church to line up with the truth of the Word of God. This doesn't mean that there's only one right way to do it, but it does mean that there is a way that you are going to feel comfortable with that fits with your theology. So whenever you work with my material, which we offer through our website, www.churchequippers.com, be assured that this is not just a pragmatic approach to church growth. This is about how our theology applies to the church we're leading.